Hello, the image you see behind me was taken at the 1989 Japanese Grand Prix at the Suzuka International Racing Course, the same circuit we're visiting this evening. The events that led up to the image you see changed the dynamics for team racing in Formula One forever. Whether you're one of the 14 Alain Prost fans living across France and in parts of Liechtenstein, or the nearly 1 billion Ayrton Senna fans living in the civilized world, you likely had an emotional reaction the first time you saw this race. The same elements of team racing you see in Formula One are relevant to the race you're about to watch. What makes the Sim Racing Alliance GT3 Challenge different from other weekly racing leagues is that each of the 42 drivers tonight have a teammate to partner with to fine-tune their racing strategy. It's not simply every driver against the world. There are even conglomerates to pool resources across SRA's 7 divisions. The camaraderie and enjoyment that team racing brings to sim racing has made this home to over 500 drivers. So while, I don't expect to see any teammates entangling at the Casio Triangle tonight, I do expect to see hard racing for bragging rights across Suzuka's twists and turns. So with that, light 'em up. It's Wednesday night.
Welcome back to the beginning of another Sim Racing Alliance season. It's been a long break, and we're back.
But it's been quite a long break, and I think you, me, and everybody involved with tonight's action is super excited to get going.
So they got a straight fight the rest of the night. He's going to have to make a move.
That's a punterino.
Serious pressure from Boostra. Trying to switch on the inside. Sweeney goes on the inside for the defense. Oh my goodness, right in between.
He's going to dive to the inside of both of them. They're going to go 3 wide corner. And we're off and away for SRA.
Good evening, ladies and germs, and welcome back to Week 3 of Sim Racing Alliance's Season 9 GT3 Team Series. We're back for a second night of racing around the legendary Suzuka circuit. And as usual, I'm Jess Osborne, and I'm joined by Jeff Spangler and Selena Boonstra. Welcome. How are we feeling tonight?
Hello, hello. It's a pleasure to be back for another round of the SRA GT3 Team Series at Suzuka. Gonna be a great night. I feel like it will be, but we shall see what happens at Suzuka.
If
Yeah,
last
great
night
night,
was any
here in the
indication, it'll be
booth.
chaos.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Great night in the booth
Yes.
and a great night on track, definitely, as we're going to have a night race this week, so that'll be exciting.
And what a night, what a track to have a night race at. So many different corners around here, blind spots. Quite narrow, curvy, and fast spots. It's going to be really hard to get passing done around here. I think it's going to be wild. I'm really looking forward to it. I had a pretty tame race myself, so I didn't get to see much of the chaos, but we'll have a bird's eye view tonight, won't we?
Oh yeah, indeed we will.
Yeah, we sure will.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were pulling up the standings. Go for it.
Yes, so let's look individually first. Up top, first we have Jared Troxclair, who's put together a string of 2, not podium races, but pretty good nonetheless. And consistency's king around here, and that gives him a 12-point lead over Kelvin Lau, who has a similar strategy of consistent, good finishes. Eric Boardman was our race winner last week and had something of a stumble for race 2. And Jeff had the opposite experience. Eric Boardman. Michael Jeffries, the coach had a pretty poor start for race 1, but was P3 last week. John Archie also had a pair of decent races. CJ Meeks was our race 2 winner. Eric Marecki had a disaster for race 1 and came back for a P2 finish last week. And Jacob Palmieri, race 1 he came in P2. Race 2, he starts in the back and doesn't finish. And tonight, Jeff will get into this, but he's one of the drivers with the penalty, isn't he?
Yeah, Jacob Palmieri will be serving a 30-second penalty this race relating to not holding the brakes. And Jacob is pretty new to sim racing, as we understand, and we talked to him after race 1. It's definitely something that you kind of have to learn. And unfortunately, sometimes bad things happen before you learn that lesson. But real quick here, just lots of highs and lows for everyone this season. I mean, Jared Truxclair and Kelvin Lau, I don't know that either of them actually been on a podium in either of the first 2 weeks.
Correct.
But lots of race winners and then some consistency, and you could see that consistency can be king with Jared and Kelvin leading the way here.
No doubt. But that will round it out for our top 10. And let's take a look at the second page driver standings for everybody else. And combined, we get our team standings, and it is a very narrow lead for Champion Motorsports Team Mercules with Ian Wheeler and CJ Meeks. Only 9 points over Kelvin Lau and Brandon Chan in the Honda for Madhouse Racing. Only 2 races deep so far. Not a whole lot of time for huge gaps to develop, but it's certainly not happening soon yet. It's still anybody's championship right now, at least in the top 5. And with that, we have drivers midway on their bankers now. What timing, right?
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, I think the first couple of guys just crossed the line to start their first hot lap with looks like Doug here leading the way. I have no idea how the M6 gets it around here, but I did see Ryan Gee with M6 time, so Doug must be paying his setup man well. We'll see how it goes.
So that's what the funds are for. I see. You better be getting your money out of it, Doug. Anybody obvious to keep an eye on? The one jumping out to me from the practice session just earlier was Ivan McCroat. He and a couple other people, including Josh Damiani, were setting bangers of laps. They were very close, with a bit of a lead over the rest.
Yeah, so Coach Jeffrey's prediction series, once again, Coach didn't predict himself. Maybe he will someday.
So modest.
But yeah, no, the coach has actually 2 Madhouse drivers. Ivan McCroat for Division II Gold here, and Joel Moffitt for Division II Silver as his race winners. So they're my horses. Let's go Madhouse. And as far as the individual, looked like Bailey Kish topped the D2 leaderboard this week with a 159.230. So we'll see if anybody can. Yes, 159.230.
Wow.
So we'll see if anyone can best that or hit a real low 59, or maybe, oh gosh, dip into the 58s.
Well, it looks like it's going to be none other than Bailey setting the first lap. And not quite in the 159s, but not by much. 0.3. Doug Mitchell not far behind, setting his 1.7. Getting knocked down by Colin Dunham with a 1.3. And the same thing to Valencia. They're all coming in now. Matt Anastasi. They know me. They're all still more than half a second off Bailey Kish. Bailey Kish did not come to play, did he?
No, he served a penalty himself last week, so looking for a little redemption. And that's a very good banker around here.
Alex Krochik next in line to say he's the best of the rest. Off by 0.2 though. He just snagged it off of Eric Laren, Comic Racing.
Yeah, to talk a little bit about Suzuka, I mean, on our schedule this season, I mean, Suzuka itself isn't a track known for a lot of passing. Definitely can lend itself to a lot of action, a couple slow corners, a couple fast ones, 130R, can be a little bit dangerous. But I mean, it's a long lap, 2 minutes or so.
Yes.
And really kind of the last big track outside of Bathurst, of course, but half of that is walls and very thin. Kind of the last big track that we've got on the schedule. I know we're going to hit Zolder, Brands Hatch, and Valencia. It'll be rainy, so that'll be tricky, but yeah. It's kind of small tracks. Ooh, it's Evan Kim getting a little wild there. Yeah, lots of small tracks coming up. So.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very interesting calendar, but definitely skewed towards that small track racing, which is compounded by the fact that we have a BOP this season. So, when most of the field is within a second of one another, and the tracks are really small and tight, it makes for some really tight racing for sure.
And tight racing is always good racing. The most entertainment racing.
Hey, Roby. Thanks for tuning in, man. Got Smith about to cross the line with a very healthy improvement by over 0.4, and he's got a decent exit on the last corner. Able to find a hair more. It'd be a very welcome improvement up into the provisionally top 10. When Jared Seckham just set the new best lap with a 0.1. BMW really confident, real strong around here. We definitely saw that in D4 last night. If not for Austin's bad luck, he probably would have won.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was putting up really good pace. The beginning anyway, before all that.
Have I just not been paying enough attention, or do we have some new liveries out there? I don't recall seeing Dunkin' Donuts, but I love that place. A couple coffee
Possible,
themed
yeah.
cars on the grid this at least this round, I'll say.
I think Jared, yeah, we always have some stragglers driving black cars, some all the way through the whole season. So yeah, he might have been one of them that got their livery technical issues sorted out. Colin Dunham is on a stormer right now. He's over 6/10 up, coming into Sector 3, and that's going to be more than enough for provisional pole right now. He is not the only one improving, though. German Valencia, he's 9/10 off a pole, and he's 9/10 in the pocket right now. So I think we got our next P2 in the bag, or provisional P2. And yes, Colin Dunham does take by just a hair, by 400s, he gets it off second. And German Valencia, P3. And just dethroned by Matt Anastasi. The qualifying is happening too fast around here. Josh Damiani improving by a ton, 4/10 up. Oh, but he's invalidated his lap, and so has Sean Williams. Yellow flagged. I'm not sure if it's because which came first? Was he just giving the lap up or being polite after he knew it was over? But yeah, Jared Seckham was not done, and he just took P1 back, pushing that time ever lower. We're into the 59s now. Did we see any 59s last night? Surely not, right?
If I can recall correctly, though. But I don't think so, anyway.
Yeah, Selena, I saw some stuff in the chat about your race. It sounds like you need your own Drive to Survive series. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes.
How'd it go?
So, to sum it up, it went chaotic. Interesting, pretty much. So, anyway, at the beginning, it was
Bailey Kish into the wall at about 100 miles per hour on his final lap. That'll do it for him.
Flying in there.
Those good old
Yeah,
Audi
please
Kings
carry
at
on.
130R.
Yep, Audi things. But yeah, so to sum it up is I unfortunately got torpedoed into from a BMW, which lost control from another BMW or something like that, and unfortunately got caught in the incident when I was trying to be cautious, but I couldn't do anything about it. But anyway, after that, I was just trying to make what I could out of it, trying to gain positions back, hit at the 40-minute mark, and then get the damage all fixed up, and then yeah, it got even more chaotic trying to overtake people. But for me, I was I was struggling to overtake because I knew I was quicker in pace, so it was a matter of trying to find as much as I could, any gaps that I could. So I had a little bit of urgy-burgy action later on in the race, which got spicy. That was
Yeah,
that
no
was
kidding. I was in the voice chat with them, and you were pretty much sandwiched for far longer than I would have liked. I kept telling them to let you go, but they care. That's really weird. People not doing what I tell them to.
Yeah,
But that'll do it for our gold drivers,
Yeah, go
who've
ahead.
all pulled over to the side of the road, and our silver drivers are now out on their warm-up lap.
Did you just have that backwards?
I got that backwards, didn't I? Our silver
Half
drivers are done, and our golds are heading the track. Sorry about that.
no goals.
Yeah, looks like we'll have Seckham on silver pole, followed by Dunham and Eric Laren. Bailey Kish, unfortunately, a little bit off his best this week.
Wasn't able to
Sitting
string it
11th
together, was he?
silver at the moment. Well, sometimes that's how it is, and a lot of times you'll see it's weird. Wow, you're very
They
stacked
are,
up. Way to go.
yeah, they're parked
Come
at
on,
the
guys.
final corner.
Figure it out. Let's go.
No. You're supposed to build your gap on the outlap, not at the last sector, boys. Anyway,
Yeah, I still think it'll be good to watch Bailey to see, how he makes the most out of that. A lot of times you can see guys put up great times
oh yeah,
during the week and can't quite match it, but that doesn't mean they won't have a good race pace too. So
exactly.
we'll
Yeah,
see how it
you
goes.
can't race pace like that doesn't just disappear. So he's definitely going to be a force in the mid pack.
What about you, Jess? How was your race this week?
Pretty boring actually. I thought I had a way better qualifying than I expected. I think I even beat my PB.
Ooh,
And
nice.
fortunately, that happened because if it didn't, I would have been caught up in a whole hell of a lot more fighting. Because
Oh,
it seems like
yeah.
the relationship between position and spiciness is exponential as we went down. So everybody right behind me was having a real bad time. Then as
Yep.
people started pitting, I was alone in the top like 5 for most of the race. And I was convinced I was going to be in the top 10, at least the top 10, once it was all said and done. And yeah, I guess I wasn't going that fast in the end because after I pit right at the end, at the last lap, I fell outside the top 10. So that was a bit of a surprise. But points, solid points, and
Points.
no tickets, so can't complain.
Nice.
Good. Well, I didn't get disconnected and I didn't get punted. My race was pretty boring as well. I didn't do any race practice and didn't take the setup that I should have, so I started 11th and unfortunately didn't have the pace to keep a couple places that I made up. So finished 11th. Yeah, good points.
Oh,
Stuff
man.
got to start going right at some point.
Yep. Any points is good points.
Absolutely. Looks like we have our gold drivers coming across. Nick Stan up in 6th. Wilson in 9th currently. Ian Wheeler in 14th at the moment. And we'll see those gold drivers start climbing up the boards here as they all complete their first banker laps.
Oh, we have a new provisional P2, John Archie, setting a cracker of a banger, 0.0.
Ooh.
Nick Sands on the hunt, though. He's about an eighth of a second up. He needs to double that delta, and he'll be taking that off John Archie. While John Archie's already in the reds on his delta. Adam Santana, our newest host, who you might have watched last night, was improving quite a bit. He had 4/10 up, but he just had a very scary spoon there. Lost most of his gains and invalidated his lap. So this one will be a wash.
Yeah, low-key, you got to watch out for spoon. In the middle of the corner, there's a piece of the track that wants to kill you sometimes. Kind of like that exit curb at the end of 130R. And it didn't bother me the whole race last night. In the very last lap, it tried. It was close.
Ooh, Jared Troxclair up by 8/10 coming to the start-finish line with his banker lap going to be in...
Wilson's about to take pole. And he did with almost a 10th lead over Jared Seckham, who is in the pits now and can't defend himself. He just has to watch on in agony and hope he doesn't get knocked down too much further.
Well, you never know, right? Maybe he's out here for the class win. Although I'm sure anybody loves to compete. You're not just going to let people go by you just because they're in a different class.
No doubt.
Yep.
Rote setting a much better lap just now, just outside of podium starting spots, and unfortunately not improving in his sector 1, so he's got an uphill battle if he wants to get any improvement out of this one. Eric Boardman about to cross the line, no improvement unfortunately. Bad lap for him.
CJ Meeks, yet to set a valid lap. He's about 30 seconds into his current lap and running out of time. He'll get this one done and he'll get one more. We'll keep an eye on him. Only driver yet to set a valid time. And that would be quite the turn from last week.
Adam Santana, half a second improvement right now. He's got 2 more corners to go. Got to bring it home. He finds 6/10. Looking for it. Oh, not quite. Not as fast as exit. Still half a second in gain here. It's going to be huge. What else is huge is Nick Sand just took P2.
Oh, now he's bumped down to P3.
Ian Wheeler just took P1 with a 159.8.
Ooh, getting faster.
Landon Dreed's just putting himself ahead of most of the silver pack right now with a 2:01. Jacob Palmieri, though, he's got more than enough for a provisional pole in his pocket right now. 1 more corner to go, and he's finding time in the final 2 corners. He was 5/10 up when I looked, 6/10 and 7/10 through there. Looks like he got a little bit too excited and pushed too hard through and out of that corner because he just lost 3/10 out of that. Oh, that hurts. But he's got 1 more go around there. He knows he's got another couple tenths. He knows he has pole in the on the table.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but at least you know exactly what you have to do, right? Hit the lap you just did, fix that one mistake, and then you're in business.
Doesn't even need to go too fast to get us going. Just take it like normal. Bank those other gains, and he's going to be sitting pretty.
And at the moment, he's been gaining and losing up to 2/10, but he's holding decently steady on his 4th lap.
Well, CJ must have heard me talking because he is now on pole with a 59.4 for what I guess is his only valid lap so far. And he's about even with his delta coming around. But unless maybe Adam Santana, he's up 2/10. He's going to need more than that.
Their Troxler's exiting the final corner with over 6/10 in his pocket.
Yeah, Santana moves up to 7th. Nick Sand is done.
Troxler up to
Wilson
8th.
is in the pits. Palmieri and Seckham are all in the... Well, Seckham has been in the pits. Ivan McCrow not improving, so it looks like CJ Meeks is going to find himself on pole with the 59.4.
Well done to him. And it looks like last across the line with any sort of improvement will be David Mastillo, going from P25 to P18. A 2:25. That'll do it for our qualifying tonight.
You guys stop me if we've seen this before, but CJ Meeks and Ian Wheeler, I believe this is back weeks with those 2 Mercedes in the front row. They're going to get used to this.
Not letting you. Congratulate him, but don't tell him these things.
That looks good. I like that. That's classic. That classic looking livery. Champion in the script there. All right, we'll do our track walk here. CJ Meeks and Ian Wheeler, as we have mentioned, followed by Wilson and Nick Sand, with Jacob Palmieri and Jared Seckham on the next row, followed by Adam Santana in that lovely Baja Blast livery with Jared Troxler. Looks like he found a lap there at the end. He was hanging out towards the bottom, so good to see that. Ivan McCrow starting in 9th alongside John Archie. And then we will have Eric Marecki with Chris, I believe it's Chris Dunham.
Colin.
Followed by Eric Boardman in the always multicolored vehicle of his choice, Porsche. Eric Laren in 14th behind him. Landon Dreebs and Matt Anastasi on an all Porsche row there. Arjun Lakshmi Narthman, that's my best guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. And David Masillo, 2 Madhouse drivers there. Alex Krojic and German Valencia, followed by Fire Queso, Michael Jeffries, the coach in the other Baja Blast BMW. Brian Anderson, Carol Topol, Bailey Kish, and Brandon Chan in the Honda there.
30 seconds.
Josh Damiani, Joel Moffitt. I looked up his name and I forgot Smith. I can't do it. S. Smith. I'll get it right eventually. Douglas Mitchell in one of the Chili's BMWs, followed by Matt Higgs with Williams. Again, I can't get these S first names. Sorry, guys. Paulie Hartman and Evan Kim, Andrew Anderson, and Guy Manperson there on the last row of the grid. We made it.
We did it.
Woo! Nice.
A couple quick shout outs to the chat. Thanks for Brandon 57467 with a follow. Overclock Skull 28. Thanks for the follows, guys. Jay Seitman says, let's go number 215. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. I don't see it.
Adam Santana.
Robotodi says,
Our
there you go.
newest,
Robotodi
host.
says, let's go queso.
Remember, viewers, at any time, if you want us to direct the camera's attention to a specific driver, you can do that with channel points.
That's been a little quiet. What do you guys think? Let us know your thoughts. Who are you watching? Who's going to come out ahead at the end of lap 1, maybe? Who's going to get the dub?
Thinking Wheeler. Wheeler or Palmieri.
Mm.
Well, Palmieri has a fat penalty to serve, so that'll set him back a little bit.
That's why I think he's hungry for it.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
That would be quite a victory.
Ivan McCroach's a solid bet too.
Yeah. Personally, though, I haven't driven the Mercedes around here, but I hear it is pretty tough through 130R, depending on how you have it set up. So I feel like if those guys stay out of trouble, they can just kind of convoy their way to another podium finish here.
Oh. Did we just lose Wilson? He just left right into the pits.
Yeah, he's in the pit.
Uh-oh. Do you think he might have made a fuel mistake? We are back to the usual meta, the usual rules this week, with a 58-minute pit window, 1 required stop, only 1 liter is required of that stop. You think maybe he accidentally didn't bring enough? Oh no, that's even more flexible though. So why is he pitting?
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I was
question.
following him and he just went right into the pits.
Was he out of place?
I don't know.
Because I mean, if you get out of your spot for 30 seconds, it starts counting you down, and it'll teleport you to the pits. I don't know, maybe some sort of hardware problem.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe something's
Everyone is
up.
hustling around here to their 2x2. Wow, someone's really hustling there.
Oh, yeah.
Get back on the track, sir.
Palms are getting sweaty. Anticipation is building. Leaders are rounding the final corner of this formation lap.
And
Knees
the
weak,
birds are
arms are heavy.
chirping.
Hopefully there's no vomit on sweaters already.
It's gonna be sweaty.
Koa says careful with the hairpin, my dudes. Indeed.
Yep.
All right, Jess, why don't you take us away as we are crawling towards the start line?
Any moment now. Wait for it. And we are off the way for SRA. And is Meeks and Wheeler going to be able to hold off everybody else? They seem to have gotten an exact same launch, and they're still side by side going into turn 1. And they survived as everybody else. It is going to be 2x2 pretty much all the way through the field until people start to accept their fate. Even 3x3. Look at this. Into turn 3. And they're safely navigating it. These drivers are of a different caliber than us, I tell you. Because this would have been a guaranteed crash last night. And I think we have found our guaranteed crash.
Yep.
It's chaos back here.
No.
What happened?
Oh. As we were just talking about
The coach.
a clean Sector 1.
Coach is
Chaos
our first
group.
victim of the night.
Oh, a little extra bumpage from Dreves and
Right up here.
Oh, someone on his inside didn't follow the apex all the way through, washed out, and went right into him. And that turned into an immediate roadblock. Him coming out the worst for it because he's pointing the wrong way.
Can't park there, sir.
Other than that, not much action yet. Everybody else nose to tail, less than a second between every driver except P3 from the front all the way back to P25. Adam Santana is already starting to fall off the back of Nick San.
Yeah, Meeks and Wheeler have already pulled a gap. Nick's hand at 2.5 down. Looks like the outside of a few exceptions in the back, one of the biggest gaps on track already. Nick San had a really great start. He was almost up Wheeler's tailpipe there. Shame that he couldn't take advantage of it. Doesn't look like it.
Like Adam Santana's benefited the most off the start. He's got 3 positions.
Oh, looks like there's another. Something went yellow or something. Oh, I guess they all just went. Okay, yeah, they went to the pits. Thought there was like another yellow, but they all went to the pits.
There might have been another incident. I saw car 372 was stopped at the middle of Sector 3 for a while.
Yeah, wow, pits are crammed here.
Yeah. It's busy.
We're starting to split up a bit more now. Matt Anastasi falling off the back of Eric Boardman. Starting to turn into 2 trains.
It's going to turn into 2 different races. By my count, there's maybe 10 or 11 cars, almost a third of the field are already in the pits after lap 1. I'm sure a lot of those guys have to fix some damage, so they'll spread themselves out a little bit, but lap 1 incident means the copy pasta is in the chat once again.
Who could have possibly predicted this?
I know, right?
Yep. It's
He was
bound to
probably
happen.
waiting. He probably had it pasted into his chat
Yep.
box.
He had
and
it
was
in his
just ready to
clipboard.
send. He totally
Yep.
would.
You're ready for action. Always.
Sounds like Waleed is in the M6 voice chat having a howler in there. He says, man, I'd hate to be on that radio right now. Approaching.
Colin Denham really on the back end of Ivan McCrow. Thought to make it past for a second, but looks like he kind of dipped out, but wasn't really all that close enough as it's through the S's.
Yeah, 15 cars have been in the pits. That's counting Wilson, who started there, so almost half the field has already taken their pit stops. We'll see how it shakes out. A couple beneficiaries of the chaos. Kiro Topol up 11 spots into 14th. Matt Higgs up another himself 14 spots. And Andrew Anderson 16 spots to 19th.
Wow. I mean, even accounting for people who've pit, that's huge.
I was just gonna say, let's take a look at this McCroat and John Archie battle. Audi usually good in a straight line. Not surprised to not see the McLaren really gain on him down the back straight, even though he did have a nice toe. Last chicane here, always tricky to nail the braking point, especially in the dark, and especially when you're following someone else.
Definitely in the dark.
Yeah, Ivan dives in the pits there. It looks like he thinks he might have better pace.
Eric Marecki as well.
And the driver in front of him. Yeah. So, man, why don't we just get on the horn and just tell everybody to pit now and just get it over with?
Yeah, make it simpler, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
With all this pitting, the track's definitely split up now. We got drivers in every sector and pretty big gaps forming between the drivers. We still have the 1-2 Mercedes up front within a second of each other. They are hot lapping happily. Nick Sand, who fell off a little bit off of them off the race start, has maintained that gap, still within 2 seconds of them, not going anywhere. Similar story for Adam Santana. Everybody's last and best laps are looking really similar, so they're not shaking each other. They don't cause any drama for themselves. I think they're gonna all find themselves still fighting each other at the end of this race. So I think the action's gonna be here in the mid pack. Everybody fighting over the top 10 positions.
Yeah, we kind of saw that in the D1 race. The top drivers definitely got away and kind of spread out a little bit. For the most part, there's some good action up front, but I think that's kind of what can happen here at Suzuka, especially when you have some cars pitting and spreads the field out even more. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Arjun down there in 21st currently, who has already pitted. So good to see some quick pace out of him.
By a couple tenths, looks like. 2 tenths about better than the next. Here. Oh, they pit. David Mastillo and Topol pitting. That's no fun. That was one of the few battles we had still going on.
Well, they'll still be battling it out when they come out, I guess.
But it'll be smaller. Yeah. They left the pack.
We'll see if it pays off.
Arjun, nearly is not fair, but got really close to the back of Ivan McCroat there. Final chicane. BMW going a little bit wide there. Evan Kim definitely going to be inviting Andrew Wilson to come up start looking up his inside with lines like that. I don't have a lot of experience in the BMW around this track, but I'm sure it's got to be feeling like a real chonky boy here in Sector 1. It looks like it.
I think. The M6?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mega chonk.
They don't call it the big chungus for nothing.
The biggest of chunk guy. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Not sure if even Ryan could tune the.
I'm sorry, I said that was Evan
out of
Kim.
it.
That was Doug Mitchell. My bad.
Yeah. Both M6s with sizable damage, says Ryan. Yep. Speaking of damage, we saw Mastillo and Carol Topol going to the pits together. Topol with a 39-second stop and David Mastillo with a 47-second stop. So I'm going to guess he fixed some damage there. That's more than just missing your pit box.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jess.
Speaking of which, I did that last night, and it definitely cost me one position.
Yeah. I had like 20 seconds worth of damage after that.
Don't tell me that. I'm going to cry myself to sleep now.
Unfortunately, at Suzuka at 130R, the soul has been taken.
All quiet still at the front. CJ Meeks actually has just broken the 1 second delta barrier between him and Wheeler.
Yeah, Wheeler with our fastest lap as well. His last time around, a 2:08.
0.8 to be more precise.
A little bit of a pack forming back there behind Adam Santana.
All these drivers that have pit already, they failed to dodge each other.
Fortunately for our leaders, oh boy, Andrew Wilson getting real familiar with that Chili's rear end.
Yeah, Doug, how about you go faster?
Yeah.
Kind of becoming a stereotypical sight around D2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Watching Doug block people. A whole train of people.
Now, doesn't this seem familiar from Hungaroring? Boy, that was something.
Yes.
It sure was.
Colin Dunham going a bit wide here in turn 1.
CJ Meeks and Ian Wheeler trading fastest laps at the top now. Lanetas Bruno in the chat, thanks for the follow. Sounds like someone is disappointed that the back-to-back is not using all of the track, apparently. Oh, was that
Eric!
drifting? Yes, it was.
Eric's snapping goes into the
Just
wall.
had a shot. Yeah.
Oh.
Catch this instant replay on the helicam.
Yeah, it looks like the rear end just wanted to keep going here. Ooh, boy.
Oh yeah, he carried a lot more speed. Had to unexpectedly slow down. And doing so looks like induced a bit of oversteer. And then once the car in front of him was gone, I think he wanted to keep going and probably stayed in the throttle. And that was it for that line. Like he can still drive the car though, at least. But he has already burned his pit stop, so he's got that going against him. Either gonna have to suck it up and eat the time, or suck it up and eat the damage and pace detriment. I'm not sure what he's gonna do.
Oh, somebody obnoxious is joining the chat. saying he's new here, Kelvin. Even though there's other people that also did it. But yes,
Welcome.
that's me. I think Kelvin's on vacation. That's why he's not racing this week, I believe.
Eric Marecki just losing a spot off the back of that damage to Brandon Chan. It looks like Arjun went short off-track excursion a moment ago. And Marecki loses another spot, this time to Sean Williams.
Yeah, he went a little deep there at 130R and I guess he just kind of let Williams by, saying, yeah, I have too much damage and I'm gonna pit right now.
Five turns deep, and it's 11 a.m. here. Where?
Glad we can
Where the
keep you
heck
company.
are you, man?
He's in an airport. So he's not where he wants to be. Nonetheless, glad we can keep you company and entertained in the meanwhile.
A little bit of action with Bailey Kish and Evan Kim, but the camera on me just like did a little funk. Didn't catch what happened there. Oh, actually, they traded positions.
Doug Mitchell once again under pressure from Wilson. They're just a tenth between the two for a moment. And there goes Doug super deep, and that's going to invite Wilson. This is his time now. Side by side on the exit. Doug's got the inside.
Oh,
Going to turn it into the outside, though. Is Wilson going to be brave enough to send it? I would. Just do it. Too far back now. Gotta hope for Doug to go deep again. That was your one shot. Oh, that might be a poor exit for Doug, though. His rear end gets a little loose there. But nothing doing, and that leaves Wilson under just as much threat as he's providing. Scott Smith next up in the queue to attack. Oh, and they nearly touch. Think Bailey will send it on Evan Kim?
I don't think he's gonna get close enough.
no, that M6 just is too powerful on the straights.
Yeah, that would be a Herculean send here. So I'm sure Doug and Evan are having themselves a great time here, part of the same train. Doug's probably proud that he gets to hold up 2 cars. Evan only gets to hold up 1.
Team effort. Hold up cars by Margaritos. Oh, looks like car number 434 has a 15-second penalty.
Oh, that is Josh. Looks like Edmonds are applying his 30 seconds. Yeah, there he goes.
Makes sense. Gotcha.
6
Oh.
They forgot to do that little action
Evan
here.
Kim going up the inside of Smith, or at least looking up the inside. He wanted it, but Smith got too good of an exit.
Yeah, Wilson also having a look at Doug there. Nothing doing though.
Bill Moffat into the pits. Oh, Evan Kim going side by side with Smith into the end of Sector 3. Smith nearly going wide, just barely holding on to the inside of the track. And that invited Kim to look around the other side. And that invited Bailey Kish to look up Evan Kim's inside. And he's still there. on the final corner. They're going to be side to side going into turn one. Oh, Evan Kim going up the inside of Smith. Smith nearly going wide, just barely holding on to the inside of the track. And that invited Kim to look around the other side. And that invited Bailey Kish to look up Evan Kim's inside. And he's still there on the final corner. They're going to be side to side going into turn one.
Yeah, a little bump there by Evan into Smith. Kind of pushed him a little wide. Smith's a little
Whoa!
upset here because
Evan
Evan's around
Kim
him now because of that bump. Yeah.
turned on the turbos, and he goes up the inside of Smith, and Smith is left picking up the pieces because Bailey Kish followed him.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't a huge collision or anything, but definitely enough to put him off on the last corner before a straight. Always somewhere that you do not want to be slow. So that's just unfortunate for Scott.
Dave Mustile yellow flagged.
Yeah,
The replay of this.
I don't know what happened there.
Oh, nearly causing a huge incident. And Tokyo drifts around the next corner. That could have been a lot worse. That could have been into a wall.
Yeah, I mean, at Tokyo drifting, it's Japan, so I
True.
mean,
It's appropriate.
gotta do it in style. Someone has to do it.
I'll give him a 6.5 out of 10 for that one.
Yep.
Definitely a cool shot there we saw, especially with David going that slow. You can see one of the unique features of Suzuka, if you're not that familiar with it, is part of the track crosses over
Yes.
another part.
The ambience is so cool when you cross under that while somebody else is going over.
Oh yeah. Boo.
Yeah, the game goes a little nuts sometimes. It thinks there's people like on your radar.
Yeah.
And I think you can
Yeah.
even at night you can even see people's headlights through the track somehow. So oh, somebody
McCrow
was
just
getting
took Truck's
a
clear
little
spot.
sideways.
And yeah, Eric Laren.
Laren.
A little shaky here. Let's see what happened. Instant
I'm
replay
gonna
on the
guess
helicam.
A little too much here of the curb. Oh, wait, we weren't where I thought we were.
Too much throttle. That's all.
Yep.
Ooh, hip check on the wall. I'm sure he's going to be feeling that the rest of the race.
Yeah, turn one very tricky. You want to kind of ride the knife edge there with how much speed you can carry. And if you try to carry a little too much, back end can come around, which I think is what we just saw happen to Eric there.
Jeff, I'm afraid we're about to have to ask you to ride the knife's edge of what's appropriate for us to do on stream. We have a very specific request. Could you read chat for me?
All right. Coven says, "Can Jeff blow me a kiss before I pound my 6th strength and board my flight?" All right. There you go.
Actually
That's
did
the
it.
best I got.
Make sure you catch it. What noise?
Enjoy your drink and enjoy your flight.
Foxclair and McCroat once again trading spots. What happened on the helicam here? Oh, that's what happened there. McCroat, a little snap on the exit of spoon. Foxclair really happy to see that one. Meanwhile, at the lead, our Mercedes have once again found themselves attached to each other. Wheeler turned on the turbos and got that gap down to less than a second. But CJ Meeks turned it out even harder. He's got the best lap of the race with a 2-minute 0.7.
Can't quite see it from this angle, but they are, well, there we go. They're approaching some backmarker traffic here.
It'll be Eric Marecki up first. Oh, Sean Williams going to get the inside of Brendan Chan on turn 1. Chan braking a little bit too hard, too fast. That rear end nearly getting the best of him. Got that just in time.
Yeah, Brian Anderson and Fire Queso having themselves a little battle here. Going through Spoon. Let's see who gets a better exit. I don't think either of these cars is particularly great in a straight line here, so probably not much of an advantage to be gained.
We have a top 10 battle brewing again. We have 4 drivers within 4 seconds of each other. Or is it 5? Adam Santana's leading everybody back down to P8. 4 through 8 here. Palmieri, though, with that 30-second penalty, that's going to sour his mood.
Yeah, it certainly will. Looks like based on gaps to the leader, I don't know if this is right.
Oh,
If I just
hold
add
on.
an extra 30 seconds. Oh no, go ahead.
Wait a minute. Hold the
Is Andrew
phone.
Wilson gonna do it?
Doug Mitchell
think
under
it's
threat,
enough.
and Wilson driving around is outside. But that is not where Wilson wants to be, because that's about to be the outside for the next corner too. And Doug Mitchell turns on the turbos. He's got the lead and the inside, and I don't think there's anything that Wilson could do. Oh, I changed the
out.
camera at the worst time. Doug gets an awkward corner through there, and Wilson's through. We got to catch the replay because I'm bad at my job.
Yeah,
And here
Doug
it
washes
is.
out a little wide here.
Yeah, went wide, and that gave the room for Mastillo to just pass by effortlessly.
Quick on his feet, smooth reaction, didn't
Yes.
lift.
Certainly a sporting move by the back-to-back there to let Wilson go by and really not gain an advantage by going off the track. And Bailey Kish up next for Division II's resident raid boss, Doug Mitchell. I think something might have happened to Evan Ken. He was in this pack, and he's in the pits now, and is no longer in this pack.
So, yeah, where'd Evan Kin go?
In fact, I don't see him on timing now.
He
and I
left.
believe we have lost
Oh,
Mr. Kim.
Can we get an F in chat?
Oh, Evan DC'd,
Oh.
says Waleed. Oh yes, I believe Waleed is in the Chili's chat right now. So
Oh,
Sorry for the technical issues
Oh,
there, Evan.
well, things are going from bad to worse for Palmieri, unfortunately, as he now has a drive-through
Ooh.
that he is serving. I'm gonna guess that is track limits because he has not pit yet, so he will have to take his drive-through and then still come around and
Yes.
serve his 30-second penalty.
Well, that's just brutal.
That's a killer. There he goes. It's weird.
Did he expend all of his good luck on race one? That's what it seems like happened.
Well, I've said it before, but you know, real racing, sim racing, highs and lows. So
Yeah.
he's seen it all in his young career, but that's okay.
Oh,
I
Bailey
was
Kish
deep-
pulling up a clean move
Yeah.
off of Doug Mitchell right into the chicane.
Do the
All
replay.
right.
Sent it.
15 seconds back. Oh, look at that
Very
run
nice
on Doug. That's so much overspeed. Doug doesn't cover the inside, lets him through. Doesn't even try and go side by side. Just lets him through. Knew the
Very
jig was
clean.
up.
And he did flash. We're gonna Bailey Kish.
Here's,
Oh, and actually,
Scott Smith's up next.
yeah. He just peeking. He's peeking. Trying to have a little look-see around. There's a gap open for him. Then there's
Yeah,
the straight.
Someone right here is pretty much your only spot. Little flappy hood there from Doug. It's definitely cracked a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're
Correct.
saying that they're carrying some damage. It certainly looks that way. But yeah, that last part of the S, really, if you can kind of get a better exit, you might have a chance of getting somebody before Doug number 1 and 2, but not happening for Scott this time around. Ryan Anderson side by side with Fire Queso. They have been battling for the last couple laps, but unfortunately Anderson runs out of track. Maybe a little too much caffeine there through Sector 1.
No such thing. Coffee, coffee, coffee.
Always coffee. That's the answer to
Go,
everything.
go, go.
Coffee.
Faster, faster.
Must go fast.
Boxler and McCroat having an equally exciting battle right now.
Yeah, I've been bouncing back between those two. previous battle and this one.
Oh,
They've
Smith
been
and
holding
Mitchell.
station.
Oh, they touch. They
Ooh,
trade
no.
spots and touch, and Smith is left punted like a cue ball into the pocket of the pit lane entrance. So Smith tries to go around the outside. There's room, and Doug closes the door right on the last corner. And looks like Smith did take that prompt to go into the pits. When
Yep.
already
that's
there, right?
unfortunate.
Yep. Might as well.
Yeah, stewards will, I'm sure, have a look at that, but looks like there was room there. He just kind of bumped over the inside curbing there, which can happen. I'm not sure that Doug did anything necessarily wrong. Sometimes that's just the way it works. Wheeler and Meeks just exchanged places on the straight going into turn 1.
Yeah, let's catch a replay of that.
So I'm not sure if he just Wheeler had a run, or if maybe Wheeler has better pace and they don't want to get undercut, but I don't think they're in
Oh, he
any
definitely
danger
lifted.
of that.
Yeah, he lifted.
Yeah.
These are team orders.
I don't think there's anybody. There's definitely, I mean, the guys right behind him, Sand, Santana, and Seckham, have always been there.
Right.
I don't think there's anyone coming from the back that looks like they have the pace to undercut them.
They might not be so sure.
As we've only got 13 cars left to pit. I mean, I would say Palmieri, but he's still have to serve his pit stop and his 30 seconds. And oh, that's right, I'm sorry, Race Control says he's pitted because he's been in the pits, but he
Right.
still has to serve his pit stop.
Right.
So yeah, the leader of those who has pit, Troxclair, is currently 46 seconds behind our leader. And it's, what, 36 seconds, 37, 38, something for a good stop, so it
I think
looks as though...
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We're not tired.
Yeah, just with
Never
the
mind.
one, with a splash and dash, yeah, so... Looks like Wheeler and Meeks are in safe hands, but as we say that, they're fooling around here, and Nick Sand's caught up to him.
And they all elect to stay out. Yeah, we are more than halfway through this race, and we still have the top 3 drivers all within visual distance of each other. not too common.
Yeah, it's gonna be spicy between the
Hopeful
3 of them.
up the inside of
Laren,
Laren, who got
Just
squarely
that
outside of
move.
Spoon.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Michael Jeffrey's yellow flag. Happened here. Nothing?
What happened, Coach?
Oh,
Ooh.
he broke with a wheel in the grass.
Yeah, the
That's what
track.
happened there.
Oh,
Not supposed to break there, sir. I think Wheeler's really pleased with his decision to swap places with Meeks because he's immediately pulled out a second gap, and as Meeks is under pressure from Sand, he left out to dry.
Yeah, it's looking like 36 seconds is our top pit time. So that's the number we want to keep in mind when we're looking at undercuts. Yeah, Troxclair, Ivan McCroat, 46 seconds behind our leader. So they have a little bit of time to work with up there, up front. But that said, I'm sure the last thing CJ Meeks wants is Nick Singing breathing down his tailpipe.
Absolutely not.
And the chase is on now, though. That is for sure.
I agree. That is a really cool shot. Right at that crossover.
Almost as cool as the Madhouse Pillars crossover we have this season.
Careful now. We got some haters of those teams of Pillars in chat. Oh, Dreves gets around Mitchell. We're definitely going to catch a replay of that. Doug having his race is kind of falling apart, isn't it? Been under threat the whole time, and lately he's losing spots for it.
Doug. I mean, look at that thing. It doesn't even bat an eyelash.
Yeah, the contact, it does not care.
To the rear of that McLaren. But yeah, I'm going to guess between the damage and tires at this point, Doug's having to take a big lift there through 130R, and that's why we've seen a couple cars be able to get a real good run on him there. But perhaps to his relief, or maybe his disappointment, he doesn't have anybody else for another 5 seconds behind him.
And until then, he's good.
Nick Stan into the pits. Looks like he's making his move. We'll see if that sets off a bit of a chain reaction.
Yeah, Adam Santana caught up to him and the other two on the provisional podium right now. And the moment that happened, he said, "I'm out." What's this Topol yellow flagged? Catch the replay. Oh, like maybe braking there? No, it was too much gas.
Man.
That was weird.
Yep. That's rough. He'd been having a good race. It's a shame to see that.
Joel Moffitt, last one to capitalize on his mistake there. Next up to try would be Sean Williams. Nick Sand just lost 2 spots. What happened here?
He came out of the pits.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, yeah, he is not immediately behind Palmieri and Anderson in front of him, but I'm sure he will hope that they decide to pit or move out of his way, because though these two are close on track, it's really not a battle with Palmieri having that extra 30 seconds in the pits. And even in a situation like this, if you're Nick Stan, just by virtue of having cars that are battling up in front of you like that, you know, the apprehension that you might have starts creeping in. Like, man, are these guys going to get out of my way? What's going to happen? Am I going to lose time? Am I losing time already?
So many variables.
We'll see. I know. There's so many things going on, and a lot of times, you know, we get the payoff right there at the end when the last couple cars pit. It looks like that's what we're heading towards this week as well.
Like what you said, Nick with the classic Pillars racing strategy. Rude. Jacob Palmieri getting a run on Andrew Anderson, but not the corner where you want to do it.
Yeah,
Inside
that's
covered
sketchy.
anyway. Very easy to defend there. You got to be crazy to attack.
Oh
CJ
yeah.
Meeks into the pits. This will be interesting because.
Oh, they
my
nearly come
goodness.
together.
Oh, all of a sudden
Wow.
pit. Good time.
CJ Meeks looks like he's going to be coming out right with Palmieri and Nick Sand here. And Nick has him. So Nick Sand getting in front of one of the Mercedes. I believe, right? I have that right? Yeah.
Yes, got in
Yep.
front of CJ.
Yep.
Where's Wheeler?
A
He-
little further ahead.
Okay, he already
no,
pitted.
wait.
I missed that. Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's in P10. He's already pitted.
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah.
All right. I missed Wheeler's pit. I saw Meeks. I thought he was the first of those two to pit. So yeah, Wheeler's got a comfortable lead now.
Really appreciating those team orders. He is.
Just looking at their current pace, it's going to be pretty close between Santana and Nixan. Once Adam pits.
And McCrode and Troxclair cannot shake each other. They've been within half a second of each other for like a dozen laps now. Something's got to give eventually, right?
Yep. Sometimes you just have to risk it for the biscuit. Speaking from experience from last night. Go too well though, but oh well. Oh, speaking of, oh no, he peaked, but Ivan
He
McCrow,
peaked.
didn't quite get that little extra run off the for the entry. Get a good run on him. He's looking really close now, right on the bumper of Troxclair. He's trying to find the gap in the right moment to just overtake him, but
Wilson just got around Josh Damiani. They were side by side. That is such a big
team orders?
speed over. That definitely looks like team orders.
Josh pulling rank. Does Josh
McDonald's
have rank?
special recipe, secret orders.
I mean, that's kind of like Szechuan sauce telling Big Mac sauce to get over, you know?
That's funny.
Palmieri stretching this out. I'm sure Nick Sand would like him to get out of the way. As it stands right now, if Santana nails his pit stop, I believe he's going to be in front of both Sand and Meeks. It's going to be incredibly close, though.
You know what else is incredibly close? Our sponsors, To My Heart. A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favorite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming that Track Racer's high quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. And Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. And To Go Setups, premium esports setups for everyone. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level.
Perfect segue right there.
I
Nailed
try.
it.
I try.
Yeah, thank you, Jess. I was gonna say our sponsors. I was gonna guess right. So folks in the chat asking what time are the overall leaders doing? I answered with CJ Meeks as the fastest on track. He is towards the front, but looking like it might be a stretch for him to end up on the overall podium this week. But Santana up front did a 2:01.7 last time. Jared Seckham a 2:01.6. Nick Sand with the 2:01.6.
Palmieri into the
Palmieri
pits.
is into the pits. He's just getting it over with. So Nick Sand with acres of clear track now. 2:01.8 last time around. We'll see if he can start lapping a little bit faster. I'm sure he'll be hoping he can.
Fire Queso and Brian Anderson, another pair of drivers that have been buddy-buddy pretty much this whole race. Cannot shake each other. Palmieri out of the pits, and he's going to exit behind Paulie Hartman and Doug Mitchell. We're still going at it.
Yeah, it's looking like this might be our last raid boss encounter, and he's making it interesting, creeping up on the rear bumper there.
Ferrari
Sure
clearly
he
having a
is-
lot more pace through these corners.
Yeah, itching to get by. I gotta say, I hope I'm not tempting fate. Well, maybe I do. I believe we've only got one drive-through tonight, and it was pretty early on.
Yes. The night is still young, though.
Yep. The nice thing about Suzuka is just the ambiance of the Ferris wheel in the background, just glowing green as it's night. It's really cool.
Iconic. I love it.
Yeah.
How many drivers do y'all think are currently sitting on 2 warnings? We can't verify, but what do you think? Let us know in chat too. How close do you think these drivers are to the razor's edge?
Probably at least a few that are quite close anyway. I remember
bet
like
like
last
5
night
at
I was
least.
yeah. Like it's I think our closest battle at the moment is just between Douglas Mitchell and Paulie Hartman. By the looks of it, anyway.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, and he's right on the back end of Doug having a pretty good exit right there.
Holly giving the courtesy flashers, indicating he's not too pleased.
Yeah, the get the heck out of my way flashers. Especially through this first sector here. Doug flashing his own lights at no one in particular.
He probably knows that he's being streamed right now.
All right, Doug, if
Watching the
you got
camera.
the stream up, Doug, I need you to turn your lights off and back on.
Yep, go dark. Go dark.
Go dark for a second,
Go
Doug.
dark. Just go dark.
Maybe after the Degners here. He's still flashing.
Oh, maybe
We're
not.
getting some really sarcastic flashes here. He is just laying on it.
Oh, here's
Unfortunately,
Polly on the
that-
inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
Doug with the better exit, though.
I'm not sure Doug. I don't know if he knows that he needs to turn his blinkers on if he wants the sarcasm to transmit back there to Paulie.
He's just constantly flashing.
Ollie coming into that corner super hot.
Wonder if
Yeah, a
it's
couple-
a distraction technique between with Doug, seeing Polly just seeing that from the front, but I don't know. He's just flashing and flashing.
Ooh. Ivan McCroat having himself quite a look there. These two have been best buddies for a long time at this point. We've kind of seen this before. McCroat gets close, can't quite get it done, and then falls back a little bit. And I'm sure he will regain that time here and have another go with 9.5 minutes. So running out of time here. Still 9 drivers left to take their pit stop.
Where's the time gone?
I was just gonna say, already 9 minutes left coming up to that, actually. It's gone really fast. Even last night's race went really fast. I guess it's just a Suzuka thing.
Oh, Polly's got his nose up the inside of Doug Mitchell into sector 2.
Oh, there we go. Doug has his flashers on now. Thank you, Doug.
Oh, Doug
no,
nearly
Doug.
losing his rear end on the inside line there. He's still holding the inside, gets the apex, but yeah, he's just so good on these exits. He needs more, but he's in the wrong spot though. Paulie Hartman sends it around the outside, turns to the inside, covers the apex, and there's nothing Doug can do about this. Paulie finally in the right spot at the right time where the dominoes fall. All planned out.
Come on, Doug. Flash him. Let's see him. No? Oh, there he goes.
Yep.
There he goes.
There he goes.
All right, he's got to be listening. The blinkers are permanently on now.
Spook.
Doug is driving like a man who has nothing to lose at this point.
I mean, he's in the M6, so might as well meme it up even more. No, that's funny.
But right there, that turn we just saw, if Ivan sets that up in the turn before, he might have a chance. Oh, no.
Like Andrew Anderson just got
Spinning
spun
like a
around by
top.
Landon Dreves.
Oh, goodness.
See the replay here going into turn 1. Andrew covers the inside, and Landon does not care.
Oh, I think he was going to let him go, maybe? I don't know why he would slow that much, and that didn't look like a natural run. Hate to see that. Espresso martini there, maybe. Shaken and not stirred.
Landon Dreves will drive away, and Andrew has an 8-second delta to him. Coadroa already said ticket acknowledged.
Oh, man. Matt Anastasi and Fire Queso are in the pits. So Ian Wheeler, still our leader of those who have pitted. But it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Santana's been chugging along, and it's a currently 35.8 second gap back to Wheeler. So I think it's going to be a spicy finish, guys. We're going to have Wheeler, Santana, San, Meeks, all within a pretty close. And Matt Hicks. Okay, he has not pitted yet. I was like, Matt Hicks out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that would have been
He's
crazy.
not making his pit stop.
But yeah, I think you're right. We're going to see a whole bunch of fights climaxing right at the end. Higgs letting Nick Sand through. I think this might be the lap where Higgs says, yeah, now's the time. I'm getting caught up with people I didn't intend to see. Guy man person, yellow flagged?
Yeah. Just caught that. He still lost it.
Tokyo drift around that corner. I've done that a couple times. Santana and Second into the pits.
All right, I'm glad we're not waiting to the very last lap. We're going to get an exciting last 5 minutes or so here by the looks of it.
Indeed.
Here comes Nick Sand around the final bend. Santana and Second should be rolling now, and they are.
He's left his spot, and he had a spot up front, so he is leaving the pits now. And CJ Meeks is just going to get Adam Santana, but Adam Santana looks like he is in second place. Nick Sand effectively in third. So definitely a big shuffle at the front. And we've now got Stan, Higgs, and Meeks trailing Santana here. So it looks like that swap that the Mercedes teammates performed earlier on has definitely benefited Wheeler and hurt Meeks a little bit. Interesting dynamic here. Nick Sand doesn't have his livery working, but driving with his teammate Matt Higgs, obviously not fitted yet, but there could be a little strategery here. I'm sure Higgs is in no hurry to get out of the way to let Meeks by and have a go at his teammate.
Sean Williams yellow flag. Let's see why that happened. Oh, that's what happened. He had to react and nearly lost the car into the wall there. A pretty good driving not to do that.
All right, 2.5 minutes left, so everyone is now in the pits that needed a pit.
Looks like we're going to have 2 laps before the end of this race now. Time is ticking down. And we still have a lot of fights going on in our along the top 10.
So kind of a opposite result here from Division 1 last night. We've actually seen a couple folks in the chat are alluding to the overcut here. The overcut working out might have had to do with some of the traffic that some of our pitted cars caught early in the race, but you know, when half the field pits more than halfway in, you're going to get people jumbled up a lot, and that can happen. So looks like those guys on the overcut had a lot of clear air, and we've seen Santana benefit, and Nick Sand as well.
And speaking of jumbled up, I'm sure Matt Higgs is feeling jumbled up right now because he just got a disqualification from speeding in the pit lane.
No, Matt.
That is
no.
a mega ouch.
Oh, Matt.
Truly hate to see that.
We drive
Very
58 minutes to try and have a good time, only to have it ruined by 1 or 2 overzealous referees.
You know, those stewards, man.
Yeah. Those stewards.
Get you every time.
Yeah.
All right, so as we see Nick Sand and Adam Santana, or we saw them head through the last chicane, this will be our final lap of the race. Ian Wheeler from Santana and Sand San has separated himself a little bit from CJ Meeks, a bit further back.
Final lap, and we still have a four-way battle for who's going to take home P7. And it looks like people are just spreading out even more. I think everybody's fatigued.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough drive. An hour at night at Suzuka.
Yep.
I'm sure everyone's more or less happy to accept their fate, although perhaps not.
Oh, Brandon
having a
Chan.
look on the inside.
He wanted it.
That's how you play defense. But I don't think he's going to be able to. We'll see if Chan can bring it around the outside.
We saw this move before. You just got to be a little bit braver, send around the outside, break a moment later. Will he do it? No, he's by the time it comes up, he's too far.
And looks like Williams is right there too, so probably best to just live and fight for the rest of this lap. Is CJ Wheeler
Ian
coming
Wheeler.
across the line. Ian Wheeler, CJ Wheeler. I put them together. Adam Santana, what a drive, up to second place. Nick Sand taking home third. CJ Meeks in fourth. John Archie in fifth. Good drive from him. Jared Seckham with the silver win.
Brendan Chan just got that move out of
Oh, looks like he did. Let's see
Let's
it.
catch the replay
Mofat.
real quick. A little cheeky replay on the final lap. Oh, yes. Got a overspeed and found the outside turning into the inside. Opened up for him right at the perfect spot. He probably can't believe it. Last second gift.
Any position gained is a hand clap.
We take those.
Yep.
We have one battle for position left. Coming into the final two corners, Eric Marecki still stuck behind Doug Mitchell. It looks like he was never able to circumvent the Great Wall of China. Well, he wants to on the last corner, though. He had a little bit more speed, but it looks like he had to compromise some of it as Doug came across his nose. And it's very nearly side by side for him. Pretty exciting end there. And with the rest of the drivers trailing in, that will be it for race 3. If we could make note of Wheeler, Santana, and I believe Nick Sand for our top 3, and Jared Seckham for our silver division winner at PC overall. Get a few of these people in the booth.
Yep.
All right.
But yeah, I gotta say, I think my driver of the race, definitely Adam Santana, moving up 5 spots to finish on the podium. Very well done.
Ryan Anderson moved up even more than that. Brandon Chan, Moffitt moving up in the teens. But yeah, really exciting race. Big shakeups going on here. But where are these drivers? Their POV. I hope y'all wrote down those names, because I did not.
I have a screenshot. Are you looking?
I see Nick Sand.
I see Nick San and and Ian Wheeler is also in the chat as well.
Start with Nick. Hey Nick, welcome to the booth, man. Great drive. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Some interesting team play there. If this was a regular, race where P1 and 2 weren't teammates, I think I would have been there.
I have to agree. It would have been either you or Adam Santana.
I know. I was flashing him. I was trying my best in the last 10 laps or 5 laps to distract him.
Cheeky.
I know, but we have our own team going on too. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah, were you and Matt in voice chat?
Yeah,
We
we
saw
were in voice chat.
CJ. Okay, yeah, we saw. We were like, well, he's probably not officially holding him up, but I'm sure
Not
he's not
officially.
going. Yeah, he's definitely not going to let him go easy. So nice having some protection back there, huh?
Yeah, Madhouse teammates, right, Jeff?
Absolutely. And I just wanted to ask, how's your season been going? With your adoption into Madhouse Racing this season.
I mean, aside from Olton, pretty good, I would have to say. Some bad luck at Olton, but aside from that, I think the next 5 tracks will be good.
Yeah, it should be a fun finish to the season. Fun second half.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for putting on such a good show, man. That was awesome racing.
Yeah.
Anybody, anything you want to say before we let you go and wish you well for next week?
Oh, did you get skipped out? I was like, okay, no,
Oh,
I
my
really
bad.
didn't.
I think I misclicked.
Oops.
That's okay, though.
Any
But-
final words for us?
No, I appreciate the racing here at SRA. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
Yeah.
Right, who's next? We have Adam Santana. I did not see him.
He's in the cool down room.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
Yep.
yes, let's get him.
There
All
he is.
right.
Oh.
Adam, welcome back to the booth. So soon.
Thank you. Was not expecting this.
Yeah, what a week, man. Debuting in the booth, moving up 5 spots to finish on the podium. How are you feeling?
Like a winner,
I feel like
right?
I want to go. I do feel like a winner. I had 6 laps of race practice and like 20 laps of quality practice, plus not feeling well. So
That's
yeah,
incredible.
to be P2, I did not imagine finishing this well. So yeah, it feels amazing.
That's awesome.
You're gonna put in more practice for next week, maybe to keep the streak going.
I'm gonna have to, I guess.
Right, yes, sir. How you feeling about it?
Valencia in the wet's gonna be tricky. I mean, it's tricky in the dry, but I've never driven it in the wet before, so that'll be fun to learn.
I've probably only done so for one race. Oh man, this is gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I think if you polled most people in SRA, it would probably be their least driven track. So
Hey, you're right.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah, so
if that's
it looks
true, I
like
think we're going to see a whole lot of people practicing. Though we're going to see some chonky numbers being put up on the statistics for laps done on the servers.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like you went with the overcut. Was that a conscious decision? You had some clear track, I'm guessing, and then at some point you just decided you were going to roll with it?
I was trying to decide what to do because I saw Nick was catching the 2 Mercedes, and then I started catching all 3 of them. And then Nick pitted, and I was like, well, now I can't pit. And then I saw that he maybe got stuck behind a car for a few laps. I was like, well, now I just have to go as long as possible. And then I was catching someone at the back, and I was about 2 seconds behind, and I thought taking it one more lap was risky, but I wanted to do one more lap, and maybe if I would have done one more, I could have come out in P1, but I don't know if I could have held it. The tires were so cold and just dead when I came out of the pit, so it would have been tough to hold on.
All right. Well, anybody you want to shout
regardless.
out?
Yeah, great drive.
Shout out to the coach. He had a tough night tonight, but he
That's
held it
true.
strong last week when I took my hopeful drop race. So maybe one of these races will both have a good showing. So let's hope that's in 2 weeks.
He's had such hit or miss luck this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has.
Well, best of luck to you both next week. See you then, man.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks again for joining the commentator crew.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a blast.
Yeah. Awesome job.
Thank you. See you.
All right, I've got Ian queued up in our cooldown room.
Let's get him in. Hey, Ian, welcome to the booth. Congratulations on the race win.
Hello, and thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the team orders that we saw there. Looked like it definitely worked out for you.
Yeah, so I wasn't the only one. um, big shout out to CJ. So he was on a different strategy than me, trying to run, I believe, lighter fuel load and on map 2, and I think he identified that I could have faster pace than him. Although I honestly was pretty happy with our pace. We were about a couple seconds ahead of Nick at that point. And but when he let me by, I had to get used to being in the lead like that and not having someone, because CJ's a great driver, and so I couldn't follow his line. And it took me a little bit to find my rhythm, but I was able to get into a groove from there.
It's a good, at least from our perspective, it looks like it was a good thing that y'all did that, because right by the time y'all made the decision to do that, Nick Sand was on y'all's tailpipe. He was really y'all in.
Yeah, you know, we were all in voice together, and I was telling him, hey, Nick is catching up to us and that I think is at the point when he decided to make the switch for us. So, and it worked out because I forgot who was behind us in the BMW, but when they came out of the pit trying to go for the overcut, you know, it was a close call from there. So, a little bit of luck there, and honestly a whole lot of luck. I wasn't able to put a lot of time into practice, and I frankly don't know how I got in first today.
Well, sometimes miracles happen, man.
Yeah,
But
right?
besides that bit, that moment where y'all made that call, was there any kind of excitement for y'all, or this race, or was it mostly hot lapping and dodging blue flags?
I would say, you know, when I came up behind Higgs before he disqualified himself, I really wanted to not get caught up in the traffic. Yeah, and when I realized that he wasn't going to let me pass, I would have to fight for it. Made a move on 130R, which I know is dangerous. I made sure to downshift pretty aggressively and brake harder. Well, brake it all, right? And was able to make it stick through a little bit of excitement through the chicane. Definitely missed my braking marker there, but yeah, it's like you said, it was just hot lapping. I was checking fuel loads, tires. It felt like ice towards halfway through the race, and I was just trying to basically relearn the car a few times throughout. So, man, it's kind of surreal. This is my first SRA victory, and it's the second time I've been on the podium, so I'm pretty stoked about this.
Hell yeah, man! Congrats.
Thank you, thank you.
Anybody you want to shout out before we let you go and wish you well?
Yeah, you know what? Big shout out to everyone on Champion Motorsports, even the ones that aren't driving the Merc. We always collaborate a lot. Ever since I've been in the league, I've been with them, and they're a great group of people. Big shout out to CJ, because this victory would not be possible without him.
Awesome. All right, thank you, man.
Well, enjoy it, man. Well earned.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your all time, and thanks again for always casting. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's our pleasure. See you next time.
Thank you all. Take care.
All right, I've got our silver winner, Jared Seckham, queued up and ready to go.
Perfect.
All right, here he comes.
Hey, Jared, welcome to the booth, man. Congratulations on the silver win and P6 overall. That's good points. How you feeling?
Very tired.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Long day, but first race in 2 months went fairly smoothly, so no complaints here.
Yeah, there you go. We were kind of noticing how it seemed after the last couple of cars pit, everybody just kind of looked exhausted, man. Like everyone was just settling in to the the hand that they were dealt. But yeah, always great to come back and find yourself with a silver win. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah, I'll definitely take it. I don't think there's any title considerations or anything like that. I missed the first 2 weeks, so there's a drop race +1 already accounted for. But it's just nice to get back and be racing again and get out on track and do things. Although I did get 2 track cuts in the first 8 minutes, so I had to drive.
Same.
Yeah, I had to drive with a clenched butthole for 52 minutes, which is still clenched right now. So yeah, there's that.
Well, enjoy the night winding down, knowing you got the victory. Like you said, you've got already the drop race +1, but hey, man, it only takes like 1 or 2 more division wins like that to wipe away a points deficit from just one
Yeah, that's true. I think it'll definitely help if no one else on the grid shows up the rest of the season. Then
Good
I'm feeling
point.
pretty confident about it.
True that. True that.
I mean, it depends on how much you're willing to contribute to the cruise fund. That could happen.
I mean, I've already done the title sponsorship. I've already bought my SRA swag, which everyone listening on Twitch can get at sra.gg/store.
It's where we're
I
not
don't know
paying
how
them.
much. I don't know how much more money they want me to spend.
All of it.
Okay, that's fair.
Every single penny.
I'm sure my wife and kid would have something to say about that, though.
Rent, food, SRA merch.
Well, sim racing gear first.
Right.
That I don't need. Oy, oy, oy. I am exhausted, folks. Was it at least entertaining to commentate on?
Oh, very.
Oh yeah, lots of action.
I'll have to go back and watch it whenever I wake up, which will probably be like 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm old and that's just what happens.
Well, before we let you go for nap time, anybody you want to shout out?
I'm gonna shout out Adam Santana because if there's any big bimmer booty that I had to stare at all race, it's him. He drove a good race. Colin Dunham drove a nice race. John Archie's an Audi machine because I tried driving that really hard and it broke my brain. And then the shout outs to the commentary team hang on, scratch reverse. Shout outs to the commentary team as usual for an awesome job, I'm sure.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hope you have fun watching it back tomorrow.
Sounds good. Jeff, don't let them bully you. And just remember that Jess is awesome, but Selena's faster.
Hey now. I resemble that remark.
No, we have a good time here. We have a good time.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we do.
Thanks, Jared. See you
All
next time.
All right, we'll see you guys around. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You.
Oh, you
All right.
too. Yeah, well, that's a little bit of a reminder. We will not be racing next week. We will have a break for Thanksgiving in the U.S. So everybody enjoy your time off. And I'll miss you guys next week.
Yeah. Enjoy the time off.
Yeah.
Enjoy the food. Enjoy the time to practice. And we will see
That
you
too.
then.